Hello, it's Sean. Today I'm going to be playing another scenario of the Walking Dead All-Out War. I'm playing the second scenario from the Days Gone By expansion, and this one is called City Slicker. So, Rick down here is trying to make his way across the board and exit off the opposite table edge. Seems like that should be an easy task for him, but we'll see how well that works. All he has to do is be able to move off of that edge and still be alive. For this scenario, we get Rick, and he has 20 points of equipment, so I have purchased a hatchet and bandages for Rick, and we will see how successful he can be. For setup, we have 2 cars on this side of this half of the board, 2 cars on that side, 4 barricades on that side, and then there's 4 walkers over here at least 6 inches away from Rick, and there's 8 walkers on the other side at least 3 inches away from each other. Let's get started and see how we do. Threat starts at 4 in this scenario. So, first things first, Rick gets to take his actions. Rick is going to reduce the threat. He has the leader ability that lets him roll a blue dice and automatically reduce the threat by the number rolled, so he's going to do that. He rolled a 2, so threat goes down by 2. Now Rick is going to run, and he's going to run right over here, and the closest walker is going to move towards him because he made noise. And that is the action phase. In the event phase, there is nobody within a kill zone, so we are not going to move anybody for that. And now we're going to draw an event card. We're down to the all quiet, and so we've got roamers. Move 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor, and that just went poorly for Rick, so this guy is going to walk right into Rick. And now Rick has 2 walkers fighting him and Mele. So next up we have the Mele phase. Rick has the hatchet, so he's got 2 white dice that he gets to roll in combat. There's 2 walkers engaged with him, so they get 3 red dice. So we'll roll the walkers first, and they have 2 hits, and then Rick's gets 2 white die. Alright, so he got 4 hits and a headshot, so I know he's going to win. He's going to push both of them back. He's got a headshot, so he's going to remove 1 from play. I don't know if you can remove both from play or if you always just 1. Let me take a look at a rule book. Threat does tick up by 1 because there's a combat. Alright, it does say that you can split damage against multiple opponents, so he's going to kill both of those because he got 2 headshots. Alright, good for Rick. And that is the end of the Mele phase. Now we have the end phase. There are no prone walkers. There's nobody bitten. So we are going to tick up threat because it's a single player game. So we're in low threat. So the action phase, Rick is going to first hold the nerve with his leader ability, stay calm. He gets reduced threat by 1. And now he is going to make another run. No, he's just going to sneak up to this car. Yeah. He at least wants to find a little bit of supplies, maybe. So that's his actions. The event phase, nobody is within kill zone of a walker. So now we're going to roll or draw an event card. We won't stay down. We're in the all quiet, so for each prone walker, roll a black die. If there are no prone walkers, add 1 to the threat level. So there are no prone, so we're going to tick the threat up by 1. So that's the event phase. There is no melee, so on to the end phase. And there's nothing going on there, so we just tick threat up by 1. Alright, back to the action phase. Rick is going to hold the nerve. He's going to roll a blue die and reduce threat by 2. And then he's going to search that vehicle. And he's going to draw a supply card. And he drew a lurker. So the search model suffers a melee attack with 2 red and may only defend. The attack is subject to bitten rules. Increase the threat by 1 and discard this card. So Rick is suffering an attack with 2 red dice, and they've got 2 and a bitten, and then he has a defense of 1 white die, and I don't think you add the white die for weapons, because it says to add to melee attack rolls. So he has 1, which means he suffers 1 wound and is bitten, which that is unfortunate. And this is discarded. Alright. So that was his 2 actions. On to the event phase. There is nobody within kill zone of a walker, so we're just going to draw the event card. The herd. We are in the low threat, so choose a walker and move it toward the nearest survivor. All eligible walkers within 8 inches of the chosen walker then also move, converging on the chosen walker. So we move the closest walker, which I think is going to be this one. And so I'm going to move towards the nearest survivor. So you're going to hit there. And then anybody within 8 inches of that walker is going to move as well. And looks like 2 of them. So he's going to go there and bump into that, and he's going to walk right there and bump. And nobody else is within 8 inches. So that is that action. No melee, so nothing to do there. Next up is the end phase. Nobody's prone. Rick is bitten, so we need to roll for that. So on a shield, nothing happens. On a blank, he's going to take a wound. So we got a shield, so he's still good. Alright, so back to the action phase. First, Rick is going to hold the nerve. And he reduces threat by 3. Alrighty, and then he is going to run. So he's going to go here, and he's going to run here. And then the closest walker to him is going to be her. And that is the end of the activation phase. Next we have the event phase. Nobody is within the kill zone of a walker, so we're going to draw an event card. An alarm. All super. Choose a car if possible. It must be one that has no survivors within 6 inches. The car's alarm goes off, creating mayhem instantly. The car will cause mayhem again at the start of every event phase until a survivor moves into contact with it and uses a search action to shut it off. Once the alarm has been shut off, discard this card. So, can't be within 6 inches of Rick, so it's neither of these 2. It's going to be one of these 2. On a shield, we'll say it's this car, and on a blank, it'll be this car. A shield, so that's the car that has the alarm going off. Now I'm just going to put a little token on it to show that it has an alarm going off. So it's going to immediately cause mayhem, which means every walker within 10 inches is going to move toward it, which is going to be him. him, and this one, bump there, got a bump there. He will shamble around that. Let's see, boom. So we'll get to about there. They're engaged, so they won't, and they're out of range. It's actually really nice. Just opened up the path a little bit for Rick. I can't be mad about that. The threat ticks up 1 here. I think we're going to let that alarm continue going off. See if we can get Rick out of here. Alright, so that was the event phase. Next up we have the Mele phase. I have 1 walker in combat with me. Rick gets 2 white dice. The walker gets 1 red. The walker has 1 hit on Rick. And Rick has 2 hits on the walker. He does not knock it out, but he does push it back and knock it prone. So that is the Mele phase. The end phase, we're going to roll to see if that walker stands up on a shield. It stands up. It does. And then we're going to roll for Rick, who is bitten. On a shield, nothing happens. He takes a hit because he is bitten and he's suffering from that wound. Back to the activation phase. Rick is gonna Rick's going to sneak right here. So he's going to sneak forward, not quite reach that car. Now let's go this way. And then he is going to, well, the threat is only at 2. He's going to use this bandage to heal himself 1. Maybe he doesn't need that, but that's okay. He's going to use it anyway. So the event phase, nobody's within a kill zone, so that doesn't happen. We're going to draw an event card. We are in the all quiet. The walkers suddenly stop and nothing else happens. Well, that's very helpful. We're going to have mayhem here again. So threat's going to tick. She's actually going to move that way. He's going to move there. These walkers are going to continue to shamble around this. There. Oops. There's the car. So, And then move there. You're going to go this way. And I don't think I ticked up threat at the end of the turn. And then that would have gone, that caused mayhem first. So I should actually have read the low threat here. So move 1 eligible walker in a direction of your choice, which that means I want to move. Actually, it's not moved directly toward the survivor, because all the cards that say that, this is the solo deck, so I could actually get a move a walker in the direction of my choice. And I'm going to move this guy. He's just going to move this way. Shamble, shamble, shamble. Alright. A little bit out of order there. Sorry about that. But now it's the Mele phase. There is no Mele. We're going to go to the end phase. There are no prone walkers. Rick is still bitten, so he has to roll to see if he takes a wound. And he does not. And that is it for the end phase. Nope, got to tick up threat. There we go. So, next, Rick is going to sneak here, and he is going to search that vehicle. No, he's not. He'll search the next turn. This turn he's going to use his leader ability to calm the nerve, and he gets to reduce the threat by 2. And that is the activation phase. The event phase, first thing, the alarm continues to sound. This guy is actually close enough to it now that he's going to move toward it. These folks continue to stay there. This one is going to shamble around, move toward it. Threat goes up by 1 because of the mayhem caused by the alarm. And now we're going to draw an event. Threat goes up by 2. We have The Walking Dead, and we are in low threat, so we're going to roll 2 white dice. And that many walkers enter play and are then each moved towards the nearest survivor. So we're going to roll 2 white dice, and I got 2, and I have 2 walkers. And I'm going to stick one here, I'm going to stick one here. And they're both going to move directly towards the nearest survivor. He's going to step there and bump into that. This walker is going to move right there. Turn the face. And that is it for that event card. Rick is going to search that vehicle. Oh no, that's the event. There is no melee. Now we do the end phase. Threat ticks up by 1. We have to roll for Rick because he's bitten. And he takes a wound. And now, that's the end of the phase. Back to the action phase. Rick is going to search this vehicle. That's a booby trap. The searching model suffers a ranged attack with a white and a red die and the blast keyword, then discards this card. So here is the attack on Rick with a white and a red die. And we have 1 hit. And now his defense is a white die. And he has 1 defense, so he is not damaged by that, thankfully. I'm going to look up the blast keyword to make sure that doesn't have any effect on this. So that could affect more survivors. He's the only survivor, so it's not really that big a deal. Alright, well that's discarded. Now that he's taken that grenade shot from the booby trap in the car. And he's going to move. He's going to make a run action and run off the board. So hey, looks like I finally won a scenario. Rick's bitten, so he might have to lose an arm before he succumbs to the infection, but I don't actually think there's any effect for being bitten from game to game, so he'll be fine. He'll recover. That was a pretty quick game. Ran pretty easily. That alarm actually was very helpful to me, pulling all those walkers away. So that was good, because sometimes that alarm is not very helpful. It kind of causes a little bit of a problem for us. So, a fun game, plays pretty quick, had a good time with it, finally won a scenario. So if you like this video and want to see more like it, you can subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or see any rules that maybe I got wrong, you can put those in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, of other various projects that I work on, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.